While I considered myself something of a cinephile when I was a teen, I was never one for movies made before the 90s, with a few exceptions. This means that I have never seen a lot of staple movies. So last Friday, when my man friend was over, he was like, I'm gonna show you 16 Candles. So we watched it. And maybe it's because I haven't watched a lot of movies made in the 80s, but it was one of the weirdest movies that I have ever seen. First of all, some technical notes. I did not think the writing was that good. One of my biggest pet peeves in movies or TV is characters talking to themselves to exposit, or like to talk about their inner feelings but only to themselves, and that happened like 7 times. I also didn't think most of the acting was that great. However, I am willing to make allowances for these two things because I know that acting and writing styles, and especially what is accepted to be produced into Hollywood, changes over time. Second, racism. Holy shit. The Long Duck Dong storyline is just pure racism from start to finish. The gong sound that they play every time he enters a scene, and then all the like casually racist terms they use to refer to him, I could not get over it. Third, it's established in the beginning of the movie that the popular boy Jake does not know that our main character Sam is alive. And while this is often used in teen movies just to be like, oh, she's unpopular and he's popular, this is presented in the movie as like the truth. He only starts to think and talk about her after he picks up the sex quiz that she dropped. Then all of a sudden he's asking people about her, he's considering breaking up with his girlfriend, he can't stop staring at her, and so the sex quiz revealed Sam to be basically an inexperienced virgin. And because Jake starts pursuing her, basically, after he found this quiz, are we supposed to believe that Jake is like taken by her purity? Or does he see her as highly manipulatable? Or is it just like, she's not like other girls? In any of those cases, his sudden interest in her after finding the sex quiz concerns me. Especially given that he literally uses his current girlfriend as currency. We'll talk about that in a second. But then, towards the end of the movie, everyone acts like Sam and Jake have always been this will they, won't they non-couple, even though they don't exchange any words until the second to last scene. But then all of a sudden, in the final frame of the movie, they're kissing like they're Romeo and Juliet. Which I guess is actually kind of an apt comparison, minus the death, because these two teenagers don't know each other. But we're supposed to believe that all of a sudden they're like madly, deeply in love. And fourth, as I just mentioned, the trading of Jake's girlfriend. So her name is Caroline, and she's like this stereotypical popular girl. And she gets super drunk at a party at Jake's house. The nerdy guy, Ted, who likes Sam, but is basically just desperate to bang anything with a vagina, he ends up at the party, and after the party is over, he and Jake start talking about Sam. Ted says that while he is interested in Sam, he will basically let Jake have her. And in exchange, Jake lets Ted take his dad's Rolls Royce, puts a passed out Caroline into the passenger seat so that Ted can have sex with her. And Jake tells Ted that it's okay, Caroline is so out of it, she's not even gonna know the difference. And then the movie ends with Ted and Caroline like not having done anything, like not even kiss. But Caroline is assuming that they did, and she's like happy about it because she feels like they had a good time. And the movie thinks this is okay because they didn't actually have sex. But no, movie, it's not, because Caroline, as far as she knows, was sexually assaulted, but she's happy about it because she feels like the guy who did it was a good guy. And I just have a few more miscellaneous notes. Everyone in this movie is obsessed with boobs. Like, you'd expect that from the teen boys. God knows they weren't really making movies about gay people at this point. But Sam and her best friend have this whole, like, short scene in which they are gazing upon a fellow naked teen girl's boobs and talking about them. And one of Sam's grandmothers spends way too long talking about Sam's boobs to her grandfather. And then you have the fact that at the end of the movie, as like a funny joke, Sam's older sister Ginny takes 4 strong painkillers to quell her nerves the day of her wedding. So she's like falling down drugged throughout the ceremony and still can't stand up straight when everybody leaves the church, and then Sam sees Jake and they run off together. Just as a writing note, I feel like that's too serious of a joke to happen to the main character's sister. And finally, in addition to the gong noise that they play before the only Asian character in the movie enters, they also play like weird, ominous intro music before anything bad is going to happen. it's very strange. It's like advertising what you're supposed to be feeling. So that's all. I'm sure fans of the movie think I'm taking this way too seriously. Calm down, this is just for fun. I know the movie's just for fun. I don't hate the movie or anything. It was interesting to see a staple, but I don't think I'm gonna be watching any more John Waters stuff.